Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another bonus episode of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley. I'm joined once again by your host, creator, writer extraordinaire, Carolyn Ossorio. Carolyn, hello. How are you? Congratulations on the
Hi,
success of
Branden.
the
How are
show
you?
so far. It's been really exciting to see the audience reaction and to read the emails coming in and to read the comments coming in. Uh, well done, well done. But here's what
Well,
I
and
want
you
to talk
too.
about. Here's what I want to talk
Yeah,
about.
let's talk
Episode
about it. Yeah.
six.
Yes, it
Episode
just
six
dropped.
just dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just dropped.
Krista Blake,
Yes.
you know, the hikers and the boot and the foot and stuff, that was a lot for me. But again, well researched and very respectfully told. Um, but tell me, let's just get right to it. The dart gun, because that is a
Oh.
singularly sadistic kind of torture for a
Mm,
person to use because it's not lethal.
No, and that's exactly what he wanted. He was a sexual sadist.
You just wanted to hurt people. Okay.
He just wanted to hurt people. Yeah, whether
It's
that was physically or the terror of driving them around in the van, hog tying them, what he did to Susan, Lacamas Lake victim of like, putting it around her neck and she's thinking that she's going to choke and then he, whips it free and it's, wants her to compliment him on his slip knots, and
yeah.
it's like this, that's why this rope plays such a huge part in the show of like he used it to torture, to bind and torture them. And what's great about what we've done, and we've talked about this in part of you wanting to know more about the rope and how it's made and how it's twisted together and braided together, and it's piecing it together so that we take the power back from this you know serial killer and are telling we're telling the story now of what happened. And what's exciting about this episode is that they thought that they had given the dart gun back to the mother-in-law, which is insane, right? And and,
I mean,
and what?
no, yeah, okay.
Right. I mean, that's the thing that I've said so many times is that this is going to make you mad, it's going to make you sad, but it's also like, okay, they thought they gave the dart gun back. They didn't through happenstance because they just,
By
the
happenstance, you
officer who
mean
was,
dumb luck.
well, he couldn't find the gun that she wanted, the dart gun she wanted back, the mother-in-law, so he picked up a random dart gun and gave it to her. She didn't know that it was a random dart gun, and she went off, on her
Yeah.
merry way. And then a few years later, he's being charged with this. They need that dart gun. They realize, wait a second, it shows that we actually gave this to the mother-in-law. Let's go track this down. And she said, I don't have it anymore, right? And so then what they discovered is at the same time they were cleaning out the lockup and they realized, oh my gosh, it was with the firearms all along. Here it is, perfectly packaged. We had the photographs to match some staining that was on the gun, and so they were able to present it in court. Well, then the family gives the dark, and the mother-in-law hadn't thrown it away,
Mm.
and she and she gives it to the attorney, the defense attorney. And it's funny because you can imagine, it's not funny, but it's ironic that he's thinking, okay, I'm going to present this to the jury, in front of the jury, that the prosecution says they have this dark gun, but we have it. And that's what caused the mistrial because this mix up.
So it was just misplaced in the evidence lockup, and that could be
Mhm.
it's understandable. So listeners, if you want to see what we're talking about, because when I first heard dart gun, right, when I was like 20, I was in Hawaii and I bought one of those novelty native like hollow dart guns that you like that you like blow through. The thing was beautifully crafted. It came with like
Mhm.
six long darts and I kept it in my back house and you could hurt somebody with this thing,
But
right?
why did you get it? What was the purpose
Because
of it?
I was into I don't know, it was cool. It was Hawaiian. I could maybe, shoot my brother with it, whatever. It was, but then you realize it's an actual weapon and it came in like three 2-foot sections so you could break it down and carry it on the plane, whatever. And it was, like I said, very well crafted. All right.
This
That's
is
not
funny
what
because this in the 80s? when you were
No,
like
this was not in
when
the
you were
80s. It was a novel. It was a purchase. It was just like, I'm gonna get this, whatever, tourist trap kind of thing.
okay.
The dart gun in this that we're talking about, and you get serious for a second, go to the website and there's pictures of it on our website. Go to stolenvoices.com, and you can see it.
Stolenvoicespod.com.
Excuse me, stolenvoicespod.com, and I could understand why it might be misplaced with the firearms, because it looks like a handgun, right? At first glance,
Absolutely.
right? Which plays in to the terror that he wanted to inflict. Pointing this at someone, you think you're about to die, but then it
Yeah.
shoots these little, maybe three-quarters of an inch long, with like, it looks like like you're playing badminton, but like a shuttlecock, but like much smaller, right? With like feathers on the end, and like a very miniaturized version of a lawn dart, okay? And almost
And
like the
it's
size of a
metal.
thumbtack,
It is metal.
and it's metal, and it it's gotta hurt like son of a bitch getting shot with it
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did to Susan, the Lacamas Lake victim. He shot that time and
into her
time and time
chest.
again into her chest, into her stomach. Yes.
And was it
So this
air
is,
powered, or was it like springlet?
yes.
Air powered.
No, it was an air pistol.
Yeah.
And um so this was an important, significant evidence because it left these little um holes, and so it tied him to Krista Blake. Like when they
Right.
fired it into skin-like material, it left these little markings that they were able to include, because with Krista, it had been 2 years since she'd been buried in that shallow grave, and so a lot of the evidence had been, they didn't know the cause of death. So having that, there were holes in the shirt that she had been wearing, and some blood around the holes. So they were able to say, yes, a dart gun could have made these holes, and then she was hogtied. I mean, it just matched his MO. And of course, obviously, the big thing is that Norma was literally 169 feet away, tied between two trees, and Krista had been there all along.
Ugh.
When Norma brought Deputy Pillsbury to the spot, the two trees, Krista was there. He'd killed her a week before. So it just brings the whole thing with Norma's story back into play, and how throughout this entire thing, he's never been charged with what he did to Norma, and yet she has testified time and time again, um, and has helped, put him away. And back to, a call back to our last conversation about this, about Susan, the Lacamas Lake victim. She testified and went through that whole process, to help put him away for Krista Blake's murder.
So that's what's great about six, about this episode. You can kind of feel the catharsis going on for Norma and for the Lacamas Lake victim that we call Susan, that they're finally able to testify and tell their story and actively participate in the incarceration and the exposure of this serial killer, which was, again, the connections were. This is the episode where we experience those connections being made, right? Where it's the
Hmm.
first time
Hmm.
someone says there's a serial killer operating in Clark County, and we've got to we've got to get our act together here.
Yeah, so definitely check out episode 6. It just dropped today. It's available wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure to like and subscribe to the show. It really helps, and review it. That helps too.
Yeah, but more than anything, share it. Share it with people who you think need to hear it. People who have an advocacy kind of bent to their true crime obsession, because you'll find a welcome home in with this content that Carolyn's
Well,
created.
and I hope that Norma is reading some of these comments, because there was a news article that came out on the show, and there was so many comments of "I believe you, Norma. I
Mm.
believe you, Norma." And it just made me just
Yep.
so
Makes it
happy.
worth it, right?
It's worth it. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, listen, like Carolyn said, like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, rate and review and share. Every little bit helps the algorithm and will help more people discover the show. So we're counting on you, people. Thank you. And Carolyn, until episode 7, be well.
All right. Bye.
Later.